Hello, friends. Thank you for coming again into my channel that is Learning and Sharing. So, now we are going to discuss about Linux and use of Linux in simulation. First, I will describe what is Linux. Linux is open source operating system that is, I would say, not user friendly to use it, but it's very good for servers and for the companies that are using for developing some softwares. So now I'm going to discuss about the Linux commands and all the Linux basic commands that is going to use in simulations. As you know that the Linux is not very easy. So what I will do, I will split this video in four modules. So this would be first module. So in this module, I will uh, simply give you a brief introduction about Linux commands and all the commands that is going to use or used by the technicians or the engineers in simulation. So it's very easy. You can go to your laptop or PC. You can just simply press Windows R, then this window will come. And if you don't like the black color, you can go over here. You can go to properties. You can choose. You can simply change the color from here. You can, change the layout, fonts, and options. Always just you must ensure that the quick edit mode should be checked in so that you can simply copy all the commands or all the informations, the real-time informations that is showing into your Linux display. Okay, so now I'm going to change the color from black to green. Okay, so now this is like that. Okay, simply if you do click here, you can see this window change. It means you can simply copy everything. You can see copy, and you have to just click the right side of your mouse, and you can see all the information simply copied. Okay, now I'm going ahead. Okay, so first time change this directory from C to D, and now I'm going to give you a brief idea about the Linux commands that is using in simulation or in the Linux operating systems. Okay, so if you simply click W, so it will show you uh, number of users logged in into your PC. Okay, and if you want to change the directory, then you can simply do cd. Okay, in this case, suppose to show you, I just created a test folder, so I'll do cd test. So you can see I just went into test. Okay, and if you go out, you can simply type cd space dot dot, you can go out. Or if you know the full folder path, you can simply do cd uh, test and do the backslash and then test underscore one. You can simply in this path. If you want to create the new folder, so as you know, in the XPs, Windows XPs or Windows 7 or 8 or Windows 10, what we are doing, we used to do the create new folder, but over here you have to do the mkdir. This is called the make directory. For example, if you want to create make directory, sorry, if you want to create any new directory, use this command make directory mkdir, and you can do mkdir. And to show you, I'll just create one directory, test underscore 2, for example. So now I can go and see there are not. So You can see test one. Here you go. We have the test two. Okay. So yeah. So now, uh, see, I'll show you the PWD command. PWD command means print working directory. So what happens sometimes you don't know you are in which directory. So if we'll do the PWD, so it will print the working directory that you are in. Okay, good. Next is the PS. PS is the Linux command. It will show you like which processes are active or which processes are running in. So it will show you the processes types are running in. And if you are simply confused and you forget some command or some shortcuts, you can do the alias. If we do the alias, then you can know all the available shortcuts or the commands that is there for the Linux that you are going to use. Okay, tar command. Tar command is very important if suppose if you do some kind of testing, debugging, and number of things, and if you want to create all the testing, all the informations, if you want to create the how to say, if you want to create that file into archive. So if we use this tar command, then all the debugging information you can simply create a archive, and that archive is going to save into test underscore one. Okay, so it will simply do the tar. So all the archive information will save into the test underscore one. Okay. First of all, I'm showing you these all information in Windows 10. I don't have the Linux as of now. Hopefully, I will install the Linux when I will show you the module 2 video. This is the module 1. So I'm just giving you the brief idea. So the next time in the module 2, I will try to replicate each and everything. Okay, so tar is done. It will do the df. Df is basically a discount file system. Discount file system, I want to say, like if you want to see like what is the space and size of the file system. So if you simply do the df and then the file name, then it will show the you can say what is the size of the file, what is the space of the file systems, and how much space that is used by the particular file. It will show you by the df system. Okay. Now, as you know that in the Windows system, Windows 10 or Windows 8, we used to do Control X to cut, or you can say we used to change or move the file from one place to other place. So if we'll do the MV and the file name and the path, then it will simply move the file from one place to other place. Okay. Okay. Next is the ping command. You can simply ping any one system to other system, one node to other node, one PC to other PC, one server to other server. So this is very easy. Everybody know about it. It will do the top. It will show you the real-time information of the Linux of that page. If we'll do the tail, so it will show you the last 10 line information of that Linux page. Okay, and yes, if we'll do the SSH, sometime you wanted to do the remote connection of one Linux system to other Linux systems, then you can do the SSH and then IP name, or you can say computer name of that remote connection PC, and then you can simply connect with that PC. Okay. One more thing I wanna show you, like in simulation, every company having their own systems, and so in the if I will give you one example, like CA is one of the biggest simulators manufacturer. They are using the CPS. This is a computerized testing system. So what they are doing, if they wanted to troubleshoot from the software side, so they are doing some kind of testing, debugging, and you can say collect the information or the labels information. So if you wanted to do the collect, first you have to run that file. And how you would run that file? Suppose, for example, the file name is abc.cts. So you have to just do the at the rate and then space and then abc.cts. So, and then you have to press the enter. What will happen? All the labels that is containing with that file, it will run, and it will gather, collect all the information. Then you can simply do the P1, and then after 30 seconds, it will do the C1. Then it will collect all the information. This is called the collect process. So this is a you can say the vast topic of debugging and collect information, and whatever the information you have, you want to send that label, and then you can simply monitor that label and then change that label, modify that label. So all these things that for the debugging and testing with the label, I will show you, and also try to replicate the things in the module 2 video. So hopefully you like my video. Thank you for watching my video. If you like it, then please subscribe it, comment, and click the bell icon. Thank you.